What if you could dive into Flesh and Blood as a new player, starting with just a booster box and a bit of curiosity? Hi everyone, welcome back to Adventuring GM. Today's video, I'm sharing my journey into deck building for Verdance. As someone who just got started, I recently opened a booster box from the Rosetta set, and now I'm piecing together what I've learned to build my first Verdance deck. Join me as I figure out how to maximize these cards, explore strategies that works for beginners, and how anyone can jump into the game just like I did. Let's see what we can create today together. Alright, before we dive into Verdance deck building, I've got something cool to show you over here on my right. I've got some awesome majestic pulls from my Rosetta box opening. And trust me, these cards are beautiful and awesome. Unfortunately, most of them don't quite fit the Verdance deck building because Essence of Lightning and then the Runeblade block. So I just wanted to share a bit about my excitement from that. So thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to share my excitement from it and showcase these beautiful pulls. But some of them do work, and I'll leave them at the top. So I'll put these away now. And now, one of the important things, when I do deck building, it's organization. So I've split my commons. So here is my big stack of commons, and my majestics, and some bit of armor, or equipment, I should say, and rares. And into these different stacks, I sorted them by pitch color and name. Well, why? Well, if you've ever needed a full play set, this is the way to go. It just makes it easier to go through them and check them out. And in my previous video, I mentioned that I would be doing some research into deck construction, and here's one thing that I've learned: the rule of unique cards. I asked myself, what makes a card unique? And the answer is simple, but crucial. A card is unique if it has different name and pitch value. So, here's an example. I have a red harvest season, a full play set of them, and a yellow harvest season. And they each have different pitch values, but the same name. And here's the official rule for Classic Constructed, and some other formats. A card pool may contain up to 3 copies of each unique card. And a card is unique if it has a different name and different pitch value. This was a game changer for me as a new player, and it's something you'll want to remember when building your own deck. Let's jump into it and start applying these learnings to build Verdance. I'm going to start off by saying that the minimum constructed deck size is 60, if I understood this correctly. And the other thing is, I want to start off with the easy things first. The simplest thing I can do is get the hero and then having a look at the majestics. Because again, I'm very limited with what I have. I know that Heartbeat of Candlehold is a must, essentially, for Verdance players or hero. And then the other ones that are available to me is the Internal Inferno and Call to the Grave. I'm not too sure if I want to use either one of these two. There is some interaction with Call to the Grave where I want to get things into the into the banish zone, but I don't see this being particularly useful for me. Unfortunate, but I have a Leviathan deck that would be good to use here, so maybe in the future this card. I'm toying with the idea of just having a single copy of this. It is pretty strong to any target. I can deal 4 damage, and yeah. I don't know. I'll put it on the maybe pile if I don't have enough. And for me personally, I think the main thing is that I'm going to be looking at these cards or looking at these as a starter deck for Verdance. Yeah, as a starter deck for Verdance. But the main thing is I'm going to try to build the best deck I can at the moment with the cards I've got, and just evaluate them. If I can't get to 60, that's okay. You know, I have other cards from the other sets that I've pulled, but I wanted to see if I can form something that is reasonably decent, from my opinion. And it's limited understanding of the game. So here we have Earth form. I have it in blue. I have 2 copies in blue and 1 in yellow. In general, if I understood this correctly, Verdance kind of wants to play in this mid-range style, and she wants to play this slow game. You can see this kind of here with the heartbeat of Candlehold, with where you're gaining life, and it triggers the ability to generate more, or you deal 1 damage. So I guess it's if you can build this life gain engine up, you can start pinging people for damage. So again, I think based on what I can see of Earth form, it doesn't seem to fit. And with this style, you kind of want to have the blue pitch value and red, a mixture of both. So your high end tickets to pitch out with the blue, and then big cost value with the red, with the big attacks and stuff like that. So I'm hesitant to add Earth form, but it could be in the maybe. So I'll put the maybe up here. I don't think I will use the yellow. In general, I'm going to say that the yellow value or the yellow pitching is not the style of play I want with Verdance. I want to have this slow, mid-range kind of game where I can heal and do big chunks of damage near the end of the game. So yeah, so unfortunate, but that's the case. In general, I'm just going to move the light a little bit so I can get a bit more focus. So I think for the yellows is a no. So I'm going to put that over to the other side and continue on my path. So again, I have then the chorus of the amphitheater. Cool card. Again, I'm dealing some damage. I can have 2 damage, and then on the red value, I do 4 damage. You know, this to me reads like it wants to be a discard, and you get to use the Oculus hero. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. That's how I'm going to say it. Oculus hero, where you get to trigger his ability from the discard. But the damage is good. It is a bit pricey, so again, I'm gonna move the yellow version of it out, or the yellow pitch version. It could be good. I'm gonna still put this in the maybe. I put it up here, so but the yellow is definitely a no from me. And then I have a generic action here with hand behind the pen. It's a very beautiful foil version of it. So again, I don't have a full play set. I'm not sure if this is something I want, but it's 6 damage for pitching for resource 2, and it banishes a card from their arsenal. It's removal essentially. It could be good. I think if there's very limited removal I can find, I'm not sure, but in general, having some form of removal is good. It is conditional with the non-attack action, so again, it could be in the maybe. Just try to get the easy stuff out. Things that I do want there, things that just are a yes in that sense. This could be a yes, pop the bubble. So I have a not complete playset. Unfortunately, I popped the bubble with it by getting the yellow version. So I'm not sure. With pop the bubble, you deal 1 damage to any hero, and you may destroy a element aura that they control. I'm not sure if I want to break my rule already, but the blue could definitely be some source of removal and some damage as well, obviously. Glyph overlay. Deal X plus 3 damage to any target hero, where X is the number of aura permanents you control with Sigil in the name. I'm not sure if this is going to be a Sigil deck, and if it's not a Sigil deck, then this Glyph overlay is going to be a no. At least from my rudimental understanding of the game at the moment. As I learn more, it could be that Verdance will have a better Sigil play. that being said, this is a pretty good card. If I understand correctly, Temporal Manipulation, the Sigil of Temporal Manipulation, you banish the top card. If it's a non-attack action card you play this turn as though it was an instant. Let me rephrase them. Sigil of Temporal Manipulation. When this leaves the arena, banish the top card of your deck. If it is a non-attack action card, you may play it as this. You may play it as if though it was an instance. See, I read some cards that want to essentially banish or remove your own sigils or auras, and I didn't really get that at first, but reading this card and understanding it now, I get it. If you have those types of cards where you destroy an aura of your own that you control, you get to play this. And if you can opt into your deck and see what's available, this is a very good card. It is potentially, again, a maybe, but that's something that I want to be cautious with adding stuff just randomly to the deck. But yeah. See here, this is a perfect example of something that I probably will add to the deck immediately. So Rootbound Carapace. It's a defense reaction. You know, I want to play that mid range. I want to defend and I want to be able to prevent damage. If I do banish 2 cards from your earth cards and an action card from your graveyard, if you do, this gets +1. So this is 4 for 0 cost. It's pretty good, I would say. I would I would say if I had multiple copies of this, I would definitely put multiple copies in. Unfortunately, I do not, unless I've put them somewhere else. I would say that I would want a full playset of the red and maybe some other color. I don't know, but it's just a good card to synergize with Verdance. I'm just gonna have a sip of coffee because I'm thirsty. Okay, so this is a definite yes. Unfortunately, I didn't pick any more, but in the future, with my daily box booster pack openings, you might see that more of these come into the deck. So Sigil Sanctuary, again, it's going into this idea that do I really want to play a Sigil deck? I think not. So I'm gonna say no. And then, okay, this to me immediately screams a yes from Verdance. It's life gain, which triggers her ability. So I would say this is probably a full playset. If I can get them all, I have close to it, so I have 2. So that's already a very good uh start. Having 2 of these, I just need a second one, and then I got a full playset. I think because it's a rare, in my daily box opening, I have another booster box that I'm opening slowly with the Everfest, and now I added the part of Mistvalve into it as well, and Tales of Aria. I'm likely going to find another one to add to this pretty soon. So I have no issues there, but I think this in general is a very good fit to trigger the abilities, get that ping damage off, and again, it's at instant speed. With the meld, you pay 2 to get both of these abilities off on your turn, or if you just want to get your own lifesteal and maybe some chip damage, that won't make sense. Count your blessings. Um, Immediately this jumps off at me as an instant yes. I mean, is that not Verdance in the image here? If I understood that correctly, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. I think it is her. So they I sometimes they design cards and they design them with specific heroes in mind, and it seems like they're doing this in the case. So I do not have a full copy of it or a full playset, but this to me is immediately a yes. I would say that it seems like a staple in her deck. I could be wrong, but for me, it just makes it as a yes. I think I would prefer this probably in like the, I mean, at the upper end. I've maybe you want actually even to include the yellow, especially at the beginning. I don't have that many cards. I think having this makes sense. So yeah. So yeah, I think yes. I think I'll take all 3 copies at the moment. It just seems like a right choice for this deck. you know, it might be expensive, but I could also use it in order to heal and get more of this at the end of a battle, essentially, right? So yeah, I think it's a good choice. Okay, next I have the Sigil of Circles. Again, as I was saying, I do like the idea of having a draw and discard, but I'm not sure if that's something that I really want to have in this deck. Maybe in the future, but at the moment I don't think so. I would say that's a no. Save the 4. I don't know. Shuffle up to 2 non-attack cards from your graveyard into your deck. Create a Ponder token. The Ponder token lets you draw. I don't think so. I think it would be cool. Maybe like the blue version, but definitely not the yellow version. I just don't see it being too useful here. But who knows? Summer Falls. Okay. All right. Once I decompose, you can put up to 1 aura on the bottom of your owner's deck. Okay. Yes. I think this is a huge. Oh, sorry if I blur it out, but it's also a 401. I also think this is a huge yes to it. I think I want to have multiple copies. I would even say that this is my general attack, right? So this is like my standard or most likely attack card that I'm going to be using, right? It seems that way anyway. And if I can get this added benefit off, because I really want to get those this trigger up to 8 cards of Earth cards is banished, right? So I would say that this makes sense, and I probably would want a full play set of both for getting that banishment mechanic or the decompose mechanic in there, and it does good damage. At least that's what I can see. If I can trigger with other things, then I would. Then this in blue, good for the pitch value. So it's again good for small damage, but you might want to just pitch with it. And the last is the smash up. When this hits a hero, turn a card in their face up. If it's an attack action card, I'm going to say no. I think this is just. It has removal. The issue is, are you actually going to be able to get an attack action card from them? I don't know. It seems too questionable to want. If I know there's such things as sideboards, maybe if you're going up in a up against an opponent that uses a lot of attack actions, then maybe you want to put this in the sideboard. But for me, I think that's a no. Now time to go over some of the commons. So harvest seasons. I got a beautiful foil on this one. It's an aura. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this, gain 3 life. I again, for a common, if I can trigger the effect here, it could be good. In general, I think I would rather want to play with the blue pitched value. Maybe some sprinkling of the red. So because it's fairly affordable, like 1 cost, I think I would actually put both of them in there for the time being. So at the moment, I think it's a yes from here, but I've got so many comments to go through. I'm just gonna try to be a bit more pragmatic and say, okay, it could be good. Fertile ground. I'm not sure if I want to play any yellows in this. Maybe in a little bit in the future, but I don't know for now. So I can gain 2 if there are 4 or more Earth cards in the banishment zone. I gain 3. And if the same thing for the red. So again, I could sprinkle a full play set in here, or I could do a bit of a mixture of both. So I don't know yet, but it triggers the ability. I would say that this is a strong contender for the commons. But yeah, let's keep going. This is Cadaver's Tilling. I think the 6+ is expensive. I already did my comment about it. I think it's just too expensive to play. Yeah, the defense is too low. I think this is a no. I think even though it's like, yeah, I think it's a no. from my side. It just doesn't fit that playstyle, and I reckon if I wanted to, I could add the earth forms here and do more with that, because I can defend a bit more with it. It's got a higher strength for the same cost and a better pitching value for what it's doing. I think if I was to go over the Cadaver's Tilling, I think I'd rather choose Earth Form over that. Penumbral Earth Bloom. I'm looking at it in general. It could be good. I think if I was to use it, I would probably use it at the higher red value cost. So maybe that's a yes, but for the others, I think not. Because I kind of want that blue, but I also want that red to do that damage, right? So I think I want a mixture of about 60% red, some blue, like 30% blue, and maybe a little bit of yellow, if there's any cards that are worth having yellow. But again, I haven't seen any so far for this deck. But maybe you could tell me if it's a good idea to have yellow, but I think I want to stick to the blue and red just for now. Again, same story. I'm not sure with the Oculus. I think this is not for... It doesn't feel right for Verdance, so I'm going to say for Phantom Splicing because I have to discard to amp up. And the damage, again, it's good. It's but it's action speed, so I'm not sure. So again, I'm going to say no to it already. Trailblazing Ether to target hero, and I get to go again if it deals 3 more damage. You know, that's not bad. I think I could see it being used here, purely just to get some of that damage off. But again, it's not super necessary. It could be a maybe, so I'm gonna put them on the maybe side, like over here. But I'm not sold on it. I think there's much more better stuff on this. I could put it down here actually, on this pile here, versus, and plus I think there's a lot of stuff in here that could work. So ether quickening. I don't know if this one's just a straight flat. Okay. So this cost 1 more. What is the blue value of this? So here, I don't know. For the extra 1, I would go for ether quickening over this, I think. So based on what I just saw here, I'd rather take this out and then go for ether quickening. So just purely because I want that pump of damage and that potential to go again, and I don't mind spending that 1 resource to do it. So again, these could be a maybe. Get these ether yellows out of here for next time. Sigil of Fyendal. Some cheap auras. If I destroy this, or if it gets destroyed, I gain 1. I get to go again. It could be good. To trigger her ability, I'll leave it there. That's a full play set if you wonder why I only took those and left that. So open the floodgates. I mean, in general, like, I'm already looking at ether quickening. I might want some draw, and for 2 to get 2 cards, if I can deal more than 3 damage, I need to have some form of way to amp this. I'm not sure at the moment if I have any amp way or to increase the damage here. So that's also kind of one of the things that I'm a little worried that the surging here is not going to work out unless I have amp. So, for example, have the arcane twinning. If I can discard this, I get the amp. So there could be some synergies here that I might want to consider because generally what I'm already seeing is this life gain advantage here, right? And attacking doesn't really work into the surging. So I'm not sure if that works really. So I'm going to take a hard look at the surging abilities and see if I want that in there. I'd rather go for life gain and that type of stuff, right? Over amping to bring the surge about. If there are ways to do it, maybe. I do like drawing, so I'm gonna put 2 of these away. See here, this is like an example of amping that could work well in a deck for maybe, I think their name, not Aurora, it's the Oculus. So maybe that could work because you're amping here and you get to go again. It's expensive. I don't know if I need it or want it. I'd rather say this is a no. And that also kind of makes me also worried about the amping abilities on for or to make this surge happen. Otherwise, these are just useless. Essentially, they're just taking up space. So I'm gonna say probably surging and amping are better for a different deck. Again, you see here like I feel like this is not the right play for Verdance. I mean, that's fine. You know, it just means that I need to search for cards that trigger these life abilities or life gain abilities and hard hitting attacks. So yeah, brush off. I don't know if I don't have anything else, I could use it, but I'm not sure. I say no. Again, it's fine. It's fine to not want certain cards. So yeah, I got the rest of them here. The more I'm thinking about it, the more I'm thinking about the surge stuff. I just don't think it synergizes well. I'd rather take them out and have something that does more towards the comboing of this deck. Um, so even pop the bubble. I would like to have played this, but I just don't see it possible to trigger it so well. Um, I'm sure again, there's nothing against surging. I think the surging is very good. I just think that there is decks that are more flavored towards the surging. So I would say I'm gonna take all of these surging out unless I find some useful reason to do more surging. So yeah, I think that's a smart play for now. I mean, I could use the chorus here to work with surging, but I feel like I'm stretching, right? And again, and that makes also feel the internal inferno not viable in this deck at the moment. So again, it, I would need to switch from basically being mid range to being a bit more aggro and more tending towards that aggressive damage dealing side. Whereas I think I want to play the slow game on this. So again, that's just the way it is sometimes. So that also makes me curious about not having arcane twinning. Yeah, I could get it wrong. I could get it that there is some need for it, but yeah. So let's look at this one. When this attacks or defends, if you have less than opposing hero, gain 1. It's 5 attack, 2 damage. It's expensive. For what it's doing, it could be good. Only if these were like pitch value or higher cost. So maybe using it here on this value to get off these bigger spells, or bigger actions, should I say? In general, I don't think it flows, so I'm taking them out, or I'm not going to include them. Again, this is nice. This is like a good way to pump a bit, but you need to have the go again, and you need to have the surge, which is not what I'm seeing inside of this deck at the moment. So I'm going to take it out as well. So Arcane Polarity, I could see this being in here. Based off of what I've just read, it's essentially you gain 1, and if you've been dealt arcane damage this turn, gain 4. Um, yeah, I mean this is like a direct defense card. I could have a couple of copies of this, even in the different mixtures. It is a maybe for me, and you know, getting that higher just to get some more. I could even see pulling in yellow for this as well. I wonder maybe if you want some yellow to balance out things in order to get these higher cost spells, or when you have like 2 cards in hand, and one of them's 2 value. It could be good. I I think I might add these just as a maybe for now. But yeah, just the cat screaming. Sigil of Forethought. Again, destroy this, creates a ponder token. Cool. I think I would take both of these because they're good pitching. If you don't want to pitch them, you can play them and then destroy them. I'll put these here. It could be a maybe. I think again, I'm not going for the sigil style deck, but it's like interesting enough because I do like drawing. But this is essentially foregoing a card. It's a direct 1-to-1 trade value. I could see this. Okay, so maybe if you have these cards in hand, and at the end of the enemy's end step or end stack, I don't know what the terminology for the phases or the different interrupts essentially, or the steps that people can take. But maybe you can use this in order to essentially cycle your hand, or put this on the field, or maybe just pitch it. So I mean, it does have value. It is interesting to think about. So I'll put it there. Next is the Blossoming Decay. Okay, so I gain 1 life after this attack. Cost 2. It's expensive, and it only does 3 damage. It's, I would say, if you, I might use it for like popping the reds to get more damage. It seems bad for this deck. I think even for Florin, I think it's not that great, but it looks incredibly beautiful. I like the foil artwork. I don't think it's the right deck for this. Okay. So again, that goes into the no pile. Strong yield. So an aura. You go again at the beginning of your action phase, destroy this, and then your next attack is plus 2. Plus 2 for 1, and a card cost. I mean, it could trigger some of the amp abilities, but they need Arcana, so I don't know if these are action cards, because it says action. So let me read. I did keep 1 aura card, not aura, but 1. No, I didn't. Yeah, maybe it's in the commons likely pile. Yeah, the Surge C here. I don't know. Even with that, it's a wizard action, so it should be able to trigger it. That goes to 5 damage for 1 and 2 spots. What is the red value then? So it must be 3 if it's there. I mean, that's 6. And then I get to replay it again. I don't know. For the surging, I'm going to say no. And I think strong yield's likely not going to happen. So I'm going to say no to strong yield as well. Do I have strong yield? What's this? Okay. It might be good. I'm going to put it in the maybe and think about it again. So just pet the cat quickly. Yeah. It's a bit of attention. Okay. Next is Autumn's Touch. 6 damage for free at 2 yellow. Could be interesting. But maybe for the red. Autumn's Touch red. And blue. Free defense. Good pitching. The Earth attack action, so it synergizes as well. I think these could be added. I'm going to say in the short list, they're going to go in. I'm just gonna pet the cat some more. So, okay. I mean, he sleeps 16 hours a day, but sometimes decides to be active. So, but yeah. I'm gonna say no to the yellow of Autumn's Touch, but I think the blue and red pitch value seems interesting to me. Strength of the 4 seasons. Let's have a look. Kids +4 if that's more than 4. I mean, that's a 6 value card for 2. Kind of beats out this one. It's an Earth. I think a blue playset would make sense, and even red. I think this card could be added to as a total. Like if I can, yeah, I don't have all of them, but maybe this one for a big swinging at the end, and just to power up the thing. So I think I'm gonna put this as a maybe. Even considering the yellow, I don't know. I'll take the yellow as a no for now. Yeah. Okay. So next I have here is the Fruits of the Forest. It's an attack. It's free. Big 7 swing. Again, this looks interesting for me to have those big attacks. So I would also say a yes. What is the, and maybe even the blue. I would say both to yes to these. I mean, for the pitching and getting that off, I could discard it for 2 life. I'd say yes. Take the yellow out. What is this? Sigil of Earth. I get to go again. It creates an embodiment token. I think having the playset could be good. Some defense here. I can defend with it if I don't really need to use it. But in general, I think this is good for pitching and other things like that. I'd keep it. I'll keep it. So, yeah. I think this is my short list now, what I've got here. So I'm going to count these up and give you a total. So be right back with me. So I checked. I have a total of 56 cards here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards here. So that would make a full deck, but I think what I need to do is evaluate this kind of spread. So again, checking the actions versus the Earth cards versus non-attack actions, and maybe dealing arcane damage and stuff like that. So this is a mandatory, I guess. I'd like to have more copies of these for defensing stuff. I think that's good. Then we have more actions. I think a full set of these would be good. Count your blessings. I guess a mixture of these would be good. So I think having some instant speed stuff would be nice. It's going to, if at the later stages, I want to use them to trigger this ability. I would only do, I think, 1. So whenever it says you gain life during your turn, you may deal 1 damage. So this is only a trigger 1. Whereas I think, if I understood this correctly, this triggers free attacks. So free damage, arcane damage. So that's the key, right? It's that I want to use multiple of them to do some chip damage and so forth. So yeah. So some wizard actions to deal damage more. Some instants as well. And then I have, like, with her over, attack actions. Some are full. Yeah, these are also, I think, I'd like a full play set of each of them. So yeah, so in general, if that was the case, I would have well, how many do I have now? So I have 2 of those, so that's 9 total. Maybe even switching this one out for a blue would be okay, and having this as a total of 3, so that'd be 12. And then a full play set of this, so that's 15. And then again a full set of that's 18. So okay, is it only, I only have this in the, okay, so that would be 18, right? If in the ideal case, if I had all of these cards. So to get to 60, I would still need to find more. So again, based on what I have, I can look at things. I'm going to start with the rares, as always. This is the easiest thing to go through. I want a spread of like half of my cards probably to be around attack actions, and half of them, probably more than half, to probably be Earth. So to trigger this, so I need to have a no, where's the triggers here? Decompose. 2 Earth cards and an action card. So I want more action cards. So like not instant speeds. So again, this doesn't consider to be part of decompose, but it does trigger the Earth part. So I want to have like a spread of that. So I want more actions than I want other things like that. So that goes into the idea: do I want to have this instance, these here, to flood my deck? And then not be able to trigger the decompose. So in general, this could be something that maybe I say no to because of that. Generic actions, again, this is fine. Some form of removal if I necessarily need to, and the cat jumps off my lap. So so you can see the camera better. I guess I've been in and out where he's been sat there. But so this could also be a maybe. Dealing arcane damage. I could discard this, get it into the graveyard, and then pop off another like arcane damage, maybe for pulsing ether. So it would trigger more damage on that and the life steal. So if I can get this off as well, so those types of combos would be interesting to play off. So actually, I would be up for keeping these as part of the actions, and I also almost have a full playset. So yeah, what I'm going to do is also Earth form. I like this card. I think I'm going to keep it in there. I think it triggers well. And I'm a sucker for big monsters. So, yeah, I'll keep this, I think. This is where I'm questioning more. I don't think this is the right card for this deck. I think I'm going to take it out. It's a cool card, but I just don't think it's the right one. Trying to look at more of the Call to the Grave. Instant speed. I get to grab something out of the graveyard. It could be good to have, but what would I use it with? It puts it into the graveyard. Yeah, so that's why I didn't take it. Yeah. Okay, so I take them out. I don't think those are necessary. I'll leave that here in case, but. All right, so at the moment I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I want to go up to the full playset on each of these, basically, or not for the Count Your Blessings, maybe 4 or 3. So that's like 18 if I remember the count correctly. I'm going to keep 2 of those in. It's expensive, but it's a cool card, and create some embodiment tokens just in case I need to get some auras on tokens on the field, just to bump up my defense when I need it. Chorus of Amphitheater could be good to trigger some of these abilities to gain more damage, and it's to any target, which is good. So maybe I want to keep them for sure. I think behind, just because I don't have enough cards in my deck yet, I think these are okay to keep. Save the 4. Do I want this? I think not. I think it's a cool card. I think it works with other decks, but it might not be the right place or right one. Here, this could be part of like a game-winning strategy. You might just want to use them to have the blues, but what could I use to have this as an instant speed? So if this is just like pulling from the top. No. It's a cool card. I've got caught up in the cool card problem. I think it's a no. So I would say these at the moment are looking close to being as a yes. So at the current 9, so then another 4, so that would be 13, and then 17 here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Maybe shortlisting it later, but they look right. So please. It's going to be moved to there. All right, the commons now. Okay. Sigil of Earth, good for defending, getting this pitching value could be good. Fruits of the Forest, I think yes. I think more I'm thinking about it to gain life, to just to throw things away if it's too expensive. Yeah, I think I'll take all four of these, so put them in the yes pile. This is the no pile. This is likely yes, depending on what's there. This is definitely the yes. Good pitch value, high cost though. Maybe I want a couple of them, not all of them. Do I want to just have a single red and maybe two blues? That could be a possibility. Autumn's Touch, just some straight damage. Yeah, I think having all of them in there could be very good. What was the card that I was looking at about instance? Sigil of Earth, was it? Yeah. Which is better? See, I think this is better. Because it triggers Verdance, I can get more value from this card over the Sigil of Earth. I'm going to take the Sigil of Earth, and if I were to take something, it would be the Sigil of Fyendal. Fyendal? Fyendal? Yeah. So I'm going to say yes to this at the moment. I think this is a card that could easily come out of this deck in the future through playtesting. When I pull better cards, this could also just be taken out as well. So I'm pretty happy with the attacks at the moment. So how many attacks I've got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 from here. And let me check. Wizard actions, not that. Actions, defense. I said 9, 10, 11. 11 there. Then the 2 earth forms, which is there. 2, yeah. 18, 19. That's 19 attacks so far. That's actually not bad. Earth cards, so all of these are Earth. Yeah, that's all Earth. That's also considered Earth. Again, most of them are Earth, I would say. And there's like a handful that are not Earth, which is good to trigger this ability. I generally want some action, so some of these here like would still trigger the decompose. But yeah, I want mostly Earth. So what is this? 2 value. So again, it's pricey. It doesn't activate the action part, but you can get the healing off. Maybe I want the high end of this, but again, it's not like triggering this multiple times. It's only like pinging once, and it could be a good response to damage taken, to take that damage and ping them a little bit. So maybe I want like a couple of copies. I'll put this as in the maybe here. Again, 1, go again. Maybe I want this only the low cost and not the red. So just to get that one little damage off, I can destroy this. And I can trigger this ability. Okay. I'm still contemplating this. Strong yield. It's giving me some auras. I don't know. Sigil of 4/4. I'm gonna come back to strong yield. I'm gonna take these out. I don't think that they're suiting this deck. This could be good. Maybe in the blue. And a couple of red. I'm gonna take out the yellow. Okay. That was like some quick thinking, sometimes you just gotta get it like out of the set, you know. in general, I'm also thinking of getting rid of all of the Arcane Polarities. They don't trigger, they decompose, and they don't trigger this tool. And I already have a lot of. Do I have a lot of life steal? So let's just say one. Like, not life steal, life heal. Okay. Strong yield, put to the side. Harvest season. See, I have a lot of instants that are coming up here. It's hard. It's hard. It makes sense. Okay. I would have 18 from the already like Majestics here. That would be 18. Then Autumn's Touch is good. I like Autumn's Touch. I like both variants to deal high damage and other. Strength of 4 seasons is also good. If you can get it to late game. I feel like, that's 6 damage for 2. This could be one of those cards that after I look at other sets could be gone, and maybe it's easily to be gone. Yeah, so that's like has this effect that is subpar. If it's only good until late game, which could be part of the reason to keep it. So I'll keep it for now. Fruits of the forest I think are great. Maybe even a full play set because you can do multiple things with it, and you can trigger this as well: heal, defend. Yeah. Again, I'll keep both of them for now. So let's count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 plus 9 is 22. Okay. I think Chorus of Amphitheater is out. Yeah. It's out. It's not gonna stay. Hand of the Pen. It's just so conditional. It's like this if it's a non-attack action card, could be good for in general sideboarding. So I would put that in the sideboard. Earth form, yeah. I would put them in there. So that's 24. It's feeling good already. I will remove the strong yields. I don't think I want to keep them here. That would be somewhat of a semi-complete deck. I don't know. Based on the cards that I have pulled from the Rosetta, I think that's pretty much where I would leave it off as. Then regarding, I'll go through the whole deck afterwards. But regarding then the equipment, I don't know what merchant arms are. I got this as a pull, and I'm not sure if I want to use it or not. So that's a thing that I can think of for later. Because again, I'll do another video updating my deck later, maybe in a couple of weeks. So as I get more pulls and different, but in general, there's not really much choice I have for the equipment. I'm just going to go with basic stuff here. So that I think would do. I did read that I have read about like the equipment. You don't want to utilize them for just small things. You kind of want to have them as backups, essentially as like extra life, so that your life total, if you need to not let it get down below certain thresholds, you could do so. And not just that, you can think that this is not just to prevent 2 damage from the well grounded, but it could prevent some on hit triggers, and that's a good thing to think about. So I'm not completely convinced by the equipment at the moment, but I'll keep them like this. And not sleeve them so that in the future I can deal with it. But I'm pretty, I wouldn't say happy, but based on what cards I have, I think this is fine. I'll evaluate some of the cards that I have pulled, and maybe next week or the week after, upload a video showcasing what I've added and removed and why. But so let's go over the general feel of it. So it's a lot of big attacks and lots of healing to trigger the Verdance trigger for every time I heal, I deal 1 arcane damage to an opposing target, to any opposing target. So anything that has life on the battlefield, I can do that. So some kind of removal with this hand behind the pen to trigger the effect of Verdance. So have this aura. Then I have a couple fertile grounds. I wouldn't mind getting rid of these. I don't see them being super useful. They don't really interact well with Verdances. Only just a minor thing because they are Earth, but they're not action cards. So these are something that I would happily get rid of. Harvest Season, again, it's an aura that could possibly go on the circumstances that I find a better card to fulfill, but as an opening, I think that's fine. Arcane Polarity, I'm already consider getting rid of them. I'm thinking maybe just having these 2 in there. Not these 2. Yeah, just 2 of the higher level ones and getting rid of the blue. I think that's fine. So I'll get rid of them. I'm not trying to complete a deck right now, but I'm trying to look at like how it could look. Earth form, I think it's good. Only by playing I could tell. It would be better if I had a full play set of each of those, but who knows until I start doing it. Fruit of the Forest, I think this works well with this synergy. So a lot of choices I can make. If I need to, I can ping for this Verdance, 1 damage and heal. Strength of these 4 seasons, I'm okay. I would be okay getting rid of these as well for something a bit more potent. Autumn's Touch, I actually think this works well in this deck. I think it could be a staple, but again, just to check. I would like a full play set of this. I think this is a very good card. So Pulsing Ether and Life, I think again that works with the whole aspect of Verdance and doing magic. I need a full playset of Heartbeat of Candlehold. I think I also need a full playset of Rootbound Carapace. Again, the Count Your Blessings, it's good, but it could be substituted. Summer's Earthfall, I think, again, I wanted to replace some of these more common cards, the attacks. I think this is the set that would get rid of the others. But in general, I feel like this is a good starting point for the deck. If you have any comments or want to suggest things, I'm more than happy to hear them. But I think it went well. I would like to see more cards added to this in the coming weeks. I will sleeve them up and I'll put down just essentially what it looks like at the end. Okay, just finishing up the last card to be sleeved, and then I count them out and see where I'm at. Again, this is not a complete deck, nor is it finished, but it's an attempt at the first stage. 51 cards so far. I'm not super happy with the sleeves. They are on the cheaper side. I don't know who I bought them so long ago for my commander decks, but you can slightly see the flesh and blood. Yeah, and they're very slippery. So sometimes I have some other sleeves somewhere, but they're on the back. They have this more like feel on the back. I don't know. It's a bit slippery. I'm not a fan, but yeah, generally this is the deck at the moment. It's 51 cards. I'll do some revisions, and I'll upload the deck to. I think it's I don't remember the name of the deck list site. I'll upload it there, and then I'll probably fill it out with some other cards and do some play testing with that. So yeah, if I do, I'll probably upload a video of it. But in general, I'd like to thank you for watching. I learned a lot more. So again, the first box, my first, I learned a lot, and my first experience with the Rosetta, with the box opening, which you can find in the video here, and to the next one where I review the set in here. To here, I've to actually constructing. I think I've learned so much as a new player. I think it's for me personally, understanding a bit more about interactions with the cards, how to read them, how to analyze what's their strengths and what's their weaknesses in a set or in a card itself. I think more now I need to do is just play a lot. I find it hard to find some people sometimes on Tashia. I can't remember the name of the website where you can play. And my local game store, I didn't actually get a game. I went there and everyone was pretty much there was only 4 people, so I didn't get a chance to play. Everyone had already settled in, and then I decided to just watch a game, and then in the end I left after that game. So unfortunate, that happens sometimes. It was also my first time going there. It was nice to meet the people. So, all right, so thank you. Like and subscribe, and see you around.